Today we start with countable and uncountable nouns. A countable noun is a noun which can be counted. An uncountable noun is a noun which cannot be counted. Countable nouns are also known as count nouns, whereas uncountable nouns are also known as non-count nouns or mass nouns. Some nouns can be both countable or uncountable. However, usually the meaning of the noun changes. Now, a countable noun, because it can be counted, they can be either singular or plural. For example, table, tables, cat, cats. Because it can be singular or plural, we can use numerals with it, numbers, like 1, 2, 3. For example, one table, 3 tables, one cat, 2 cats. We can also use articles with it, both indefinite, a or an, and the definite article, the. We can use count determiners, quantity adjectives, or quantifiers with it to show how the noun is being used with respect to number or amount. For example, each, many, every, several, few. If we have to state the quantity of a countable noun, we ask the question how many, and we add it with a plural countable noun. For example, how many chairs? Few chairs, or 5 chairs. A countable noun can also be a collective noun or a concrete noun. Some proper nouns can also be countable nouns. On the other hand, an uncountable noun cannot be counted by numbers. Since it cannot be counted, it cannot have a plural form, and so it only has a singular form. Nevertheless, sometimes it can be pluralized if it is used in a countable sense. It can use the definite article the, but it never uses the indefinite articles a or an. It can be used with quantificational determiners like much, less, little. To show the quantity of an uncountable noun, we ask the question how much, and then we add it with a singular uncountable noun. The how much is answered with approximate expressions like much, some, a great deal of, a bit of, a lot of, or it can be answered with exact expressions like 3 kilograms of, or a day of, a pinch of, a handful of, a bag of, a cup of, a plate of. An uncountable noun is also an abstract noun, and some concrete nouns can also be uncountable nouns. Let us see some examples. Examples of countable nouns: person, people. Yes, people is the plural of person. Similarly, dog, dogs, box, boxes, cat, cats, bottle, bottles, note, notes, bag, bags, phone, phones, computer, computers, knife, knives, suitcase, suitcases. Now let us see some examples of uncountable nouns: art, air, sugar, water, wisdom, knowledge, tea, coffee, rice, bread, love, hate, fear, anger, life, beauty, money, evidence, information, furniture. See, chair is a countable noun, whereas furniture is an uncountable noun. Luggage, religion, advice, research, skin, paper, accommodation, weather, behavior, traffic, travel, trouble, work. Now, some nouns can be both countable or uncountable. Let us see some examples of nouns that can be both countable and uncountable. Fire, fruit, hair, iron, light, glass, chicken, memory, experience, paper, time, room, work. Quantificational determiners can modify countable or uncountable nouns, or both. The quantifiers that quantify countable nouns are many, how many, not many, few, fewer, quite a few. And with uncountable nouns, the quantifiers are much, how much, not much, less, little, quite a little. There are some quantifiers that can quantify both. For example, all, no, some, most, more, any, lots of, a lot of, plenty of, enough. Now let us dive in. We start with countable nouns. A countable noun can be counted by numbers. Numbers like 1, 2, first, second, Arabic numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. For example, she has 5 shoes. So 5 is a quantifier which modifies the noun shoes, which is a countable noun. Similarly, he has 1 shirt. This is the 5th book in the series. This is the first example. Or the machine failed by a margin of 2.3 millimeter error. A countable noun can have a singular or a plural form because it can be counted. Apple, apples, box, boxes. For example, the apple was delicious. He ate 3 apples. Or please open the box. All the boxes were opened. The color of the leaf was green. In autumn, trees shed their leaves. So here we have apple, apples, box, boxes, leaf, leaves. A countable noun can also use the articles a and the. Countable nouns can be singular and plural. When a countable singular noun is specific, we use the. And when it is non-specific, we use a or an. An example of the specific would be, did you read the book? And non-specific would be, bring an onion or bring a potato. And when a countable plural noun is specific, then we use the. For example, all the shoes were sold. But when it is non-specific, then no article is used. Like he sold apples or he sold pens. A countable noun can co-occur with quantifiers like each, every, several, few, fewer, a few, many, not many, either, neither, hundreds of, thousands of, a couple of. Let us see some examples. Every chair is unique. Here chair is the countable noun. The quantifier is every. She gave each child an apple. He spoke for a few minutes. There are several tables. There are fewer tourists this year. The quantity of a countable noun can be shown with how many plus a plural countable noun. Here make a note that a singular countable noun cannot be used. We have to use only a plural countable noun. Let us see an example. How many trees are in the garden? Or how many apples are on the tree? We do not say how many tree is in the garden or how many apple. Many is used with a plural countable noun and much is used with a singular uncountable noun. So here we are using many. How many apples do you need? We do not say how many apple do you need. A minute comprises of how many seconds? We do not say a minute comprises of how many seconds. So a plural countable noun is used with how many. A countable noun can also be a concrete noun or a collective noun. Remember, a concrete noun is a noun which has a particular shape or size. It can be experienced with our 5 senses. It is tangible. For example, only one person was in the room. Or there are a dozen sweets in the dish. Yes, person is a concrete noun, sweets is a concrete noun, the quantifiers are one and dozen. It can also be a collective noun. A collective noun refers to a collection. It's a collection of things which is taken as a single unit, taken as a whole. For example, library or teams or school. Let us see an example. The library is closed today. 6 teams participated in the championship. So teams, library are countable nouns, but they are also collective nouns. Now, some proper nouns can also be countable nouns. A proper noun is a specific, a particular name of a person, animal, place, thing or an idea. Because it is specific and particular, it is unique. So a proper noun is unique and hence it is generally not countable. But some proper nouns can be countable. For example, the Smiths host lavish extravaganzas. So here Smiths, it's a title. Let us say John Smith and Rebecca Smith. So we call them as Smiths. For example, so we say the Smiths host lavish extravaganzas. So here it is used as a countable noun. Similarly, many Britishers live in London or many Indians live in New York. Many Indians. Indians is a proper noun, but it is countable. So some proper nouns can also be countable nouns. Any questions? Please ask. Okay, now we move on to uncountable nouns. An uncountable noun cannot be counted. As the name signifies, it cannot be counted by numbers. Now let us see some examples. The examples may be categorized as abstract, material, generic and non-plurals with S. As abstract nouns, let us say work, knowledge, information, advice, help, enjoyment, relaxation, trouble, fun, recreation. These are all abstract uncountable nouns. Now, material uncountable nouns would be like cake, coffee, tea, bread, hair, grass. Yes, hair. Yes, hair is an uncountable noun. For example, she has blonde hair. But if we refer to a specific strand of hair or few strands of hair, then we say hairs. For example, he has grey hairs. So Hairs, hairs. So in some cases, it can be countable. We will come to that later on. Right now, let us see the categorization of uncountable nouns. So the material categorization would be coffee, tea, cake, bread, grass, hair, meat, rice, ice cream, water. Generic would be clothing, fruit, furniture, equipment, jewelry, luggage, machinery, mail, money, wildlife. Furniture is uncountable. Chair is countable. Non-plurals with S would be like mathematics, measles, economics, civics, ethics, mumps, news, tennis, physics. Uncountable noun. For example, we can say that his knowledge is vast. We cannot say his 7 knowledge is vast. We cannot count knowledge. So we cannot have the word 7. It is incorrect. Similarly, do you want money? We do not say do you want 5 money. We can say do you want $5 because dollars is countable whereas money is not countable. Or water is flowing. We do not say 1 water is flowing. Do you study physics? We do not say do you study 8 physics or 9 physics. Now the categorization would be like knowledge is abstract, water is material, money is generic, physics is non-plural with S. And because it cannot be counted, it can only have a singular form. And usually it cannot have a plural form. Let us see an example. He ate rice. We do not say he ate rices, R-I-C-E-S. Rices is incorrect. It is not a word at all, it is a spelling mistake. Or how much money do you have? We do not say how much monies do you have, M-O-N-I-E-S. This is also a spelling mistake. Similarly, newses. Did you hear the newses? N-E-W-S-E-S. This is also a spelling mistake. Or she gave him some advice. We do not say she gave him some advices. Yes, generic is money, news is non-plural with S, rice is material, advice is abstract. Now, sometimes uncountable nouns can also have a plural form if a countable sense is used. So the plural form can come only if the sense is countable. For example, life is valuable. Here life is an uncountable noun. It is singular and it is used in an uncountable sense. But if we have to make this life plural, then we have to use it in a countable sense. Like, does a cat have 9 lives? Now here L-I-V-E-S, lives, is used in a countable sense and it is plural. So we have made an uncountable noun life, which was singular, into a plural noun lives. But now it has a countable sense. Similarly, art imitates life. This is a singular noun, art, uncountable sense. The folk arts of any country are varied. Arts, A-R-T-S. This is plural, but in a countable sense. She signed the divorce papers. This is plural, countable sense. Please use recycled paper. This is singular, uncountable sense. Similarly, is religion the opium of the masses? So religion is a singular uncountable noun and it is used in an uncountable sense. However, if we have to use it in a plural way, then we have to use it in a countable sense. So we can say there are many religions in the world. Few other examples would be ancient Indian sculpture is exquisite, or several sculptures were displayed in the museum. Old age brings wrinkled skin. Here the word is skin. He sold skins of wild animals. Skins, plural, countable sense. Okay? Now let us see how we use the articles with uncountable nouns. When an uncountable noun is specific, the definite article the is used. And when it is non-specific, no article is used. A and an, the indefinite articles, are never used with uncountable nouns. Please stir until all the sugar disappears. Here the uncountable noun is sugar, but it is used in a specific sense. We know the sugar that was added in the soup perhaps, or the tea. We know it, how much was added. So we say please stir until all the sugar disappears. So here it is specific. So we use the definite article the. However, if we use sugar in an uncountable way, in a non-specific sense, then we can say sugar is in short supply. Here no article is used before sugar. We do not say a sugar is in short supply, or an sugar is in short supply, or the sugar is in short supply. A and an are never used, but the is used, so we cannot say the sugar is in short supply. So if it is specific, use the. If it is non-specific, no article is used. Few other examples. The computer program used the data. Specific, which data? We know it, so it is specific, so the data. Non-specific would be data yields information. Did you like the music of that film? We know the film, we know the music, so it's specific, so the is used. In a non-specific sense would be music has a healing effect. So here no article is used. An uncountable noun never uses indefinite articles a or an, but it can use a singular verb. Is a singular verb. For example, knowledge is power. Is a singular verb. We do not say a knowledge is power. Another example would be in poverty, enjoyment is a rarity. Now an uncountable noun, the quantifiers are much, not much, a bit of, a little, less, a good deal of, a great deal of. For example, please add a little sugar. Here we do not say that please add a few sugar or please add fewer sugar. Few and fewer are used with countable nouns, whereas little and less are used with uncountable nouns. She used less money than him. We do not say she used few money than him or fewer money than him. The quantity can be shown by asking the question how much and adding it with a singular uncountable noun. For example, how much money do you have? Here money is the singular uncountable noun and the quantity is shown with much. How much? So much shows the amount, whereas many shows the number. Many is used with countable nouns. Let us see some more examples of uncountable nouns that can show quantity. How much effort is required? Or how much time do you need? How much water is left in the bucket? An uncountable noun can also be an abstract noun. Remember, an abstract noun is intangible. It is the reverse of a concrete noun and it does not have any shape or size and we cannot experience it with our five senses. For example, her actions displayed maturity. Here the abstract noun is maturity. Or his speech rings with intelligence. Intelligence. Charity begins at home. Charity. Let us see another sentence. If being bonded to unceasing attention gives freedom, then how is one truly free? This is a thought-provoking sentence. There has to be a perpetual awareness. It is a continuous process. You must be always aware and then only you can be free. Now, being always aware, you are bonded to it. Now, if you are being bonded to unceasing attention, then how can bondage give freedom? So it's a thought-provoking sentence. Yeah, you can think a lot on it. Let us move on. Some concrete nouns can also be uncountable nouns. A concrete noun is tangible, whereas an abstract noun is intangible. A concrete noun has a shape and a size, a particular shape and size, whereas an abstract noun has no particular shape or size. A concrete noun can be experienced with our senses, five senses. Yes, a human being has multiple senses, but the main five senses. So it can be experienced with our five senses. For example, the quality of air is low. Concrete noun is air, but it is also an uncountable noun. Or she has brown hair. Or did you cook some rice? Or day by day petrol becomes expensive. He drank a lot of water. Now some nouns can be both countable or uncountable, but a change in the meaning of the noun occurs. For example, 3 chickens were pecking the seeds. This countable, chickens, and in an uncountable sense would be he drank chicken soup. The movie reflected her own life experiences. This countable. Uncountable would be he learned only from experience. Similarly, he lit a fire to keep warm. Countable. The ship caught fire. Uncountable. He sold fruits for a living. Countable. Fruits. Fresh fruit is good for health. Here fruit is uncountable. We can have several examples like this. He drank 2 glasses of milk. The material used was glass. He has few grey hairs. She has brown hair. He used an iron to press clothes. Blood contains iron. See, the meaning has changed. He used an iron to press clothes. Iron here is an electrical appliance that is used to press clothes. Whereas in the sentence, blood contains iron. Iron is an element. The police car had revolving lights. Natural light is best for reading. He had fond memories of her. Can memory play tricks? There are 3 meat products available. He eats only meat. The file was full of papers. The material is not paper but cloth. Don't enter that room. There was plenty of room for the furniture. The show ran 5 times a week. Time waits for no one. Time and tide wait for no one. So here time is used in an uncountable sense, whereas the show ran for 5 times a week is used in a countable sense. Similarly, he read the complete works of Shakespeare. Here works is used as a countable sense, whereas finding work was difficult. Work means finding a job. So here it is used in an uncountable sense. Okay, clear? Any doubts? Any questions? No questions. Alright. Now let us see how quantifiers can quantify these nouns. Now they can quantify countable nouns, uncountable nouns, and both countable and uncountable nouns. Few, fewer, and quite a few, they modify countable nouns, whereas little, less, and quite a little modify uncountable nouns. He spoke for a few minutes. So here few means a small number. It is countable. Whereas if we say there were fewer tourists this year, then fewer means a very small number. It is countable. Quite a few flowers were on display. Here quite a few means a large number. Many flowers were on display. So it's countable. Please add a little sugar. Here a little means a small amount and it's uncountable. She used less money than him. Here less means a small amount and it is uncountable. He received quite a little help from her. Here quite a little means a large amount and it's uncountable. Quite a little and quite a bit are similar. He received quite a bit of help from her or he received quite a little help from her. They are both same. They mean a large amount and they are uncountable. Countable nouns are modified by many and uncountable nouns are modified by much. For example, there are many chairs in the room. Chairs is countable. We do not say there are much chairs in the room. There is much furniture in the room. We do not say there is many furniture in the room. Yes, the informal substitute for many is a lot of and for much is lots of. How many modifies countable nouns and how much modifies uncountable nouns. How many coins are left? We do not say how much coins are left. But we say how much money is left and we do not say how many money is left. Similarly, not many is used with countable nouns and not much is used with uncountable nouns. We say there are not many coins left because coins is countable. We do not say there are not much coins left. There is not much money left because money is uncountable. Not many and not much create sentences with a negative connotation, with a negative sense. The aspect is negative. And if we have to use a positive connotation, then we use a lot of or lots of. Let us see an example. There are not many coins left. Here the sentence has a negative connotation and coins is a countable noun. If we have to make this into a sentence which has a positive connotation, there are a lot of coins left. Here also it is a countable noun, but the connotation is positive. So instead of not many, we are using a lot of. Similarly, with uncountable, we use much. So we say there is not much money left. To make it a positive, we use lots of. There is lots of money left. The connotation is positive, the meaning is the same. It is something like a glass is half full or a glass is half empty. A glass is half empty has a negative connotation, whereas a glass is half full has a positive connotation. Okay? Now in this sentence with lot of and lots of, make a note that these quantifiers, a lot of and lot of, can modify both countable and uncountable nouns. Similarly, there are other quantifiers that also can modify both countable and uncountable nouns. For example, all, some, any, no, more, most, enough, less, plenty of. Let us see some examples. Do you want some biscuits? Biscuits, countable noun, we are using some. We can use it with an uncountable noun also. For example, do you want some milk? Similarly, there are no cups on the table. There is no water in the bucket. The quantifier is no. Are there any tables? Is there any milk? There aren't enough books to read. Do you have enough money? There are plenty of lakes in that area. An uncountable noun would be there is plenty of conflict in the play. So conflict, uncountable noun, plenty of is the determiner. Clear? Any questions? Okay. Please do the exercise. Please start. Thank you.